Good morning everybody, JT Bear here. I just thought I'd give you a bit of an update on what's going on in the greenhouse, but mostly what's going on in the house itself, because there's not a lot of gardening going on in the greenhouse, but luckily there's still no freezing going on in the greenhouse. So check out these lovely temperatures. Scan up above the coffee cup there, and what do we got? Penticton weather. Minus 12.6 degrees Celsius, mostly cloudy. That works out to 9.32 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's just more than a little too cold to be outside garden. But because of the 250 watt heater I've got in the fish tank now, check it out. Now I have learned that this is not an accurate representation of the fish tank water temperature, because it is greatly affected by the air around it to the tune of about 9 degrees Fahrenheit, which means if I go outside and check my water, it's going to be sitting at about 41 degrees. So that's acceptable, all things considered. Now that I know exactly what the difference is between the reading and the water temperature, I'm a lot more comfortable as far as what's going on with my fish tank. So even though it's 9.3 degrees out there Fahrenheit, minus 12.6 here in Celsius, my fish tank water is comfortably flowing. Yay! But that's about all I have to report on the greenhouse right now. Let's take a look at the inside plants. So here's the little fish tank I ended up bringing in. That is the smallest of the fish we got like 6-7 weeks ago. It has grown more than a little bit in its time with us, but I ended up bringing that one in because I want at least one fish to make it through the winter. And it was the only one that would fit. However, last night I think it ate half the minnows, because I can't find 6 of them. I only found 9 last count, and previously I had found up to 15. Now if I can find the cories, let me just look around for a minute. That one seems to be doing just fine, and well, there's one of the minnows. The other one's doing alright too, but it's hiding in that piece of pipe at the moment. But surprisingly, they've both made it. I've gotten mixed reviews on whether or not I should leave the pebbles in there. So I think maybe I'm going to mix in some sand and just kind of raise the overall bottom a little bit. So there'll be kind of a mixture of sand and pebbles on the bottom, and we'll call it compromise. I have made another one of those little net cup hangers. Got the little LED light on there for the moment, but it's not tall enough, is it? Might go nick some Lego from the boy, build a little stand for that. Still not really sure what I'm doing with this as an aquaponic garden. Hence, this isn't an indoor aquaponic garden update, it's just taking a look at it on our way through. Still haven't gotten around to transplanting this guy yet. I need to go grab some perlite. Keep getting distracted every time I go to the art naps though. And these peppers that I trimmed back so dramatically because of those damn little white bugs. Oh. Guess I forgot to spray that one. We'll get you in a minute, buddy. But for the most part, the plants look like they're coming back alright-ish. For the most part. Unfortunately, those little bugs did come back in spades too, though. So I've started spraying. Some of these I'm spraying with soapy water. Some of these I'm spraying with a little bit of rubbing alcohol in water. And we'll just see. That little prickly pear cactus seems to be doing alright. These little, I don't know, I want to call them nodes, seem to be puffing back up a little bit. It's hard to see any real changes to it, but at the same time it definitely looks happier and healthier to me. I think I'm going to end up trimming off some of these nubs just to give it sort of a more uniform, symmetrical type shape. We'll see. I have acquired an orchid now to look after, so this ought to be interesting. I know nothing about orchids. I am, as always, open to any information anybody wants to share. And while we all know that I've got no problem learning from my mistakes, I'd really prefer not to kill this orchid. So if anybody does have any advice on that, that would be really, really appreciated. My indoor sage seems to be doing alright, but as always, sort of turns into a bicolor sage when it's comfortably warm. It's the cold that brings out the purple hues in this plant. I would be curious. I should check around on Wikipedia, see if there's a reason for that. In my pepper seedlings, I've got some 9 different varieties that have started to sprout up and are getting a little leggy on me, looking for the light, so I'm going to have to do some transplanting there. I guess ultimately that means 9 of these are destined for the compost. What am I looking at? It's 3, 6, 9, 10. There's only 10 of them there. Well, I guess if I thought of that before this very moment, I wouldn't have bothered spraying the plants. It kind of seems like a waste of time now. Oh, jeez. Alright, well, I wasn't going to bother bringing you guys outside to see this, but this is ridiculous. Alright, check out the aquaponic greenhouse. That gives you a lot of comfort, doesn't it? No power, quite frozen. Everything's pretty much just hibernating. Ooh. Except maybe those willows. They might have died. That wisteria is not looking great either. Oh well. One outside lives through the winter. We'll see how this one does. As you can hear over here though, water is flowing. Managed to find some more scraps of plastic to cover up more of the tank. Got a little heat contained in there. Brought the 50-watt heater back out for the settlement tank. I don't know if you can see it, but managed to find a piece of plywood to run all the way across the back of the tank there. So that's going to keep a lot more of my warm air in. Found some old styrofoam. So that's all coming along. Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Well, it's keeping a little bit of heat in there. Those green onions don't look happy. I wouldn't say those seedlings are thrilled, but that one in the back's starting to look like genuine pak choi plant. Fabulous. See, even with this sage basically dying, you can see a lot more purple in the stem. It's got to be an effect of the cold. Somehow that lavender's still alive. Huh. That green onion's not looking good though. I wonder if I can just peel off those outer layers and the rest of the plant will be okay. Feel free to throw any thoughts in the comments on that one. Definitely time to put a proper greenhouse structure over that garden bed. Alright, well I wasn't going to bring you out here like I said, but what the heck, it's an aquaponic channel and, you know, it's November 30th. It's like 9 degrees Fahrenheit outside, minus 12 something Celsius. Keep wanting to call it minus 12 Canadian, but it's not. Anyway, minus 12 something Celsius. And my plants are still growing. So it's a miracle. It truly, truly is. I think I want to contact the company that makes that heater and let them know just how impressed I am with it. And, you know, we'll see. Who knows? Sometimes these companies get back to me. The liquid rubber people got back to me when I told them how cool I thought their product was. You never know until you say something, right? Alright, everybody. I really am signing off now. So, stay safe and happy gardening.